Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's event. This is Stephanie Zima, and I want to take you on a little journey about gut health, why it's important, and all the things. Now, before I'm going to do that, I'm going to tell you real quick that Zoom, if I start a presentation, somehow stops the screen share. So we're going to have to work with it just a little bit. And that's how we're going to do it. It's going to look a little weird, but please don't worry. It's not about what it looks like. It's about what I have to tell you. All right. So gut health, let's address the root of all our problems. Why do we have a hard time to control our foods? I mean, how many times have you thought about it? Like, why am I not able to stop snacking? Like, why am I constantly in it, in the pantry, in and out every single time? Or why can't I just walk by these treats? Or, Halloween is coming up. So we already all know that we're going to have maybe some problems and some triggers happening. So, but there's multiple reasons of it. One of it is a candida overgrowth and an insulin resistance. Those two are, it's just a couple of reasons, but those two are big ones, right? Candida overgrowth in the gut is super big, and many are not aware of their overgrowth. And then an insulin resistance also. But don't be fooled, emotional triggers also play a very big role. Blood sugar levels. What do we have to say about this? So what does it really mean to you? Have you ever really thought? I mean, we hear this stuff, right? We hear that we have to take care of our blood sugars. We have to like this. We hear that, but do we really know what this means? So you've heard this before, but in your life, what does it mean? When you look at this graphic, for example, you see the up and down and up and down and up and down, right? Those are the blood sugar levels. When you, for breakfast, after breakfast, you spike up and then you crash back down. And then for lunch, you're going to start back up and then you're going to go down. And that is because you are hungry and you put starches and sucrose rich food into your body. So then you go up, right? And then boom, you crash back down because your body has used all of that. So blood sugars control your energy. So when you go up, you have high energy, but then when you go down, you crash, right? And blood sugars also control your cravings. Insulin is the master hormone that controls and affects all other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid, and cortisol, adrenals. And when our blood sugar, see, this is what people are not necessarily putting together. We are not thinking that when we have problems with all the other hormones in our life, that insulin is actually the master hormone. It's linked to it, right? So this blood sugar control that when we take a lot of foods in, a lot of sugarized foods or foods with a lot of starches, we constantly spikes the blood sugars, and insulin has to work so hard, and it affects all the other hormones that are dealing with all of us, right? So when blood sugars is out of control, it affects them all. That is a fact that once you understand this, you understand how this is a big picture. You understand a big picture. So when you have an afternoon slump, right? So I remember when I was back in the office, we had a coffee cart, and I thought it was such a genius idea. The lady would walk around with a coffee cart, and it had a coffee thing on there, and then she would go from desk to desk to desk to desk, and everyone would get their cup of coffee, right? And we were so excited about it. And it was because we all had this afternoon slump, and the office manager, she had understood that she didn't want everybody to fall asleep at their desk, so she just made sure that we all had coffee in the afternoon, right? It was genius when you think about it. But yeah, so afternoon slump is a real thing. It's because your blood sugar is dipping again after that lunch. And when and that's the dangerous part. That's when we are usually trying to get a piece of cake or candy or anything else that like gives us a little bit of a pick me up. The no energy. Yep, we desperately need energy, especially if you have kiddos at home, right? So we desperately need the kids to sleep, a cup of coffee to get going. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just, we are just exhausted people, right? So time to stop that roller coaster. It almost feels like this. You're trying to get ahead of your health. You're trying to do all these things, yet you're feeling like you're on a roller coaster, right? It's constantly. But here is now the secret weapon, which is actually now patented to only my company here. The mineral chromium and the chlorogenic acid that is found in the green coffee bean helps with the support of the healthy glucose metabolism and regulates the blood sugars. So instead of going up and down, if you take the mineral chromium and best yet in combination with the chlorogenic acid found in the green bean coffee, the green coffee bean, when you do those two together, it actually regulates your blood sugar levels and it stays straight. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. When I first started with this, I didn't think that there was such a thing. I mean, I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think anything would make me feel really great. And I ended up having so much energy when I started with these products because I out of the sudden I was not going up and down on this roller coaster anymore. I was just stable and it felt really great. So, yes, people say all the time, oh, I'm just going to get it via food. I'm going to get it via food. Yes, you can get it by broccoli. You can get it by eating raw onions. You can get it from green beans, mushrooms, tomatoes, romaine lettuce, and cinnamon. You can get the chromium also from fish, for example, right? Fish is and chicken and all those, like, the healthy foods, they all have and contain chromium. But when you think about it, how much of that are you really truly eating? It takes 9 cups of broccoli to get the amount that you need. Are you eating 9 cups of that? Like, so the link between chromium and diabetes dates back to 1950, for example, when researchers managed to prevent diabetes in rats by feeding them brewer's yeast. Chromium was deemed to be the magic ingredient and was called the glucose tolerance factor since then. If you don't have enough chromium in your diet, your blood sugars will continue to go up and down. And most of us, and if you're really honest with yourself, most of us are not eating enough of the food. You may eat some, but you're not eating enough to offset the amounts of sugar that is in our other foods. Okay. I mean, the sugar is like hidden in places, in ketchup, and in every single thing, it's hidden in some way, shape, or form. So as I just said, can we get the chromium from food? Yes, we can. We can eat all the right macros. We can live the perfect lifestyle. We can manage our emotions all the time and keep hormones in balance. We have time to do all the grocery shopping in the specialty stores between couples, work schedules, and sports schedules. Poof. Has never said any mom ever. Right? I mean, seriously, who has time to do all the right things all the time? We just don't. We simply just do not have the time to make sure that we have perfectly shaped and measured out food. So some people may have that, but I'm not talking to those people. Those people are geniuses and super moms and all the things. I'm talking to the moms who are like trying to play Uber driver back and forth, this and this, sitting in games and stadiums and sidelines and all that kind of stuff. Those are the moms I'm talking about, and that is really hard to have that much chromium rich foods, even for our kiddos, in the day. Okay, when we get really real with ourselves, this picture is just much more accurate. I mean, do I need to say more? Probably not, right? And this picture over here is also pretty accurate. When you think about it, like how many times do we have dinner in a car? And how many times do we need to just pick something up because we have not had the chance to do anything with it? I mean, there's no shame here. This is just reality. We are living busy lives. Reality is you probably run out the door without having pre-planned meals. You probably don't eat all your snacks and servings of all the foods. Let's just really be real and honest with ourselves. And you probably do not measure your macros accordingly to the dietary needs. But it's okay, okay? Don't be ashamed. We all are there, or have been there, and some of us are still there, and some days you may be greater and some days you may not be so awesome, and that's just okay. That's just what it is. But there's good news. There is help. So Plexus Triplex can actually help you. The pink drink regulates your blood sugar. And by the way, the pink drink is not created equal. This pink drink is now patented and it only belongs to Plexus. And that is amazing. So one drink per day will take care of all day. It's super simple. You just mix it up once in the morning, drink it up, and that's it. You're good to go for the rest of the day with your chromium intake. It contains prebiotic strains that help feed your good gut buddies, because we know we have a gut microbiome flora, and it's really important to feed them, right? So we have to feed them. And you forget this. People forget this. They think, oh, we're just going to put the probiotics in our system, but they forget that they need food. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know if you have ever done the sourdough, but I've just learned about this yesterday. So when you start a sourdough starter, you actually have to keep feeding it at the same time every single day. You have to feed it, and that's when it thrives. Really, really good. And it's kind of like that with this situation here too. Okay, so it contains prebiotic strains. It was developed by an I can never say these words, endocrinologist, whose desire it was to create a plant-based consumable product for diabetes in hopes to reduce their need for diabetic medication and insulin. The second product in here is the BioCleanse. It oxygenates and energizes your body. It neutralizes the acid conditions that may promote pathogens and boosts immunity. Oh my gosh, like what is it boosts? I have a typo in there, so forgive me. It boosts the immunity. Yes, and it helps you cleanse the toxins. So really, so this is what it is. You feed your gut really good, and then you you help all these toxins to get out of your body, which is really great. I mean, who doesn't want to detox? How many people are detoxing all the time, but they're not realizing that it has to be an ongoing process. Every single day you have to detox, not just once in a blue moon. You have to detox every single day, because every single day we are bombarded with chemicals. We are bombarded with stuff. So making sure all that waste, all that yuck, all that gunk that we are storing in our midsection, all that needs to come out. And yes, this is the product to do it. So fun fact, most Americans are deficient in magnesium. BioCleanse is a quick solution for that. Magnesium is also responsible, by the way, for cramps. Like if anybody has cramps, a lack of magnesium is probably the culprit. All right, on to this ProBio 5, and it's not just any probiotic. It contains chitosanate. Can you tell that I am not a green personality? I'm not somebody who loves ingredients, but I do geek out about the way how they make me feel. Okay, so forgive me, please, if I say these things wrong. But it's somehow important to know, I feel like, because when you don't know what is in there, you can go to CVS and you don't understand why our probiotic seems to be better. You might think, oh, they're just wanting to sell some stuff. No, I'm telling you why ours is better. And that's why it's important that you understand. So it contains this chitosanase, or whatever you say, however you say that. It's an enzyme which breaks through the hard cockroach-like shell of the candida yeast and exposing it. Okay, candida is like a cockroach, and it just doesn't break open, but this enzyme can actually break it open and kill it. Grapeseed extract is in there, which is an antioxidant that acts as an antifungal to kill the yeast. And it is, and here's the third thing, it's freeze dried and heat stable, which maintains the potency of these probiotics. See, people think sometimes, oh, I can just go and buy the yogurt. And they're not realizing that they're spending buku bucks on these probiotics that are having to be refrigerated, and never even thinking about what's going to happen when those enter your body. When they enter your body, they're going into a heat environment. By the time they're making it to your gut, forget it, right? Okay. So this is really important. They are only being activated when they hit your gut. Okay, so they're heat stable and they are freeze dried. Okay, so all of these three products make up the triplex. Now, whoa, hang on one second, before you're going to jump in and run to the store, you won't find those supplements in the store. And before you're going to run in and Google and say, where do I buy the triplex? Here's the key. You should never just go and Google the products, because here's the thing. Not because you see bad reviews, not because you will always see some kind of bad reviews. You will always see somebody who's been disgruntled, even the products are amazing. Now, the reason why you shouldn't be just off doing this without having an actual coach that can help you with these products is because these products are not one take all take. Okay, so it has to be customized to who you are and what your body and your microbiome is like. Okay, some people need maybe 4 of these BioCleanse. Some people need 6 of these BioCleanse. Some people with IBS or some of the other issues, they need only maybe 1 or 2, and it needs to be slowly come in, and some can take it all at once, right? And when you see sometimes people who have maybe left a bad review, very often it is that they didn't listen to their coach or didn't have one, and then they just taken all the supplements at the same time. And you can imagine the storm that's happening, because these are live bacteria, right? I mean, they're heat activated, freeze dried, yes, but they are becoming live the moment they hit your environment. So can you imagine, you just put all these bugs into your body and then you expect to feel great? Well, if you needed a really big detox, well, it's just not a good result. So that is why you should be buying from somebody that you trust, even if it's your friend, even if it's your, the person who invited you, even if it's the person you shared or who shared this with you. They know, okay? And if they don't know, they know who knows, right? Because that sometimes people are new and they don't really know yet, but then they always know somebody who knows. And you need to be started properly on these products. It's just what it is. Okay, so tummy troubles, overweight, diabetic, your problems can be solved. See, we run around so often that we think, I don't want to talk about this with anybody. I have so much tummy trouble, or I cannot shed this weight, or, maybe you are just embarrassed to talk about the farting and, all this. You have to understand, when you're talking to people with plexus, you actually are talking to gut health experts, right? We have been founded in gut health, but we are experts in microbiome. So that means microbiome is the whole person. We are all educated in knowing, how to be kind with you, and so on and so forth. And most of those things, and this is what's important, those are very confidential conversations. Like, we don't go and talk to people about what you ordered or something. So just keep that in mind, right? You need a coach. You need somebody who can help you with those things. So, we are like kind of making a body mind approach. I offer so that's me and my team here, and all of my plexus people as well. We offer a very variety of different ways to help you with your change of lifestyle. We have programs available such as fitness and nutrition programs that are helping you. And those gut health supplements, they are helping you to bridge the gap. That's just what it is. The mindset is one thing, and the exercise coaching, and all of that is important because you want a whole body mind approach. Okay. You want a whole body mind approach. And it's really important to do that. And with the programs that come with a VIP membership with Plexus, you actually have that. You will have meal plans, you will have nutrition plans, you will have exercise videos. All these things are important. So health is everything. You just got to remember, health is everything. But without health, everything else becomes nothing. Okay, that's just it. And, so many times we don't realize that health is everything. But we have to understand for a second, can you imagine if you can't walk anymore? Can you imagine for a second if you are so unhealthy that you are having to be in the bed? What happens to your life? See, we complain. Let me stop share here for a second. We complain about so many things. We complain about, oh, my day was this and this was that and this was hard, and here we have but we don't put emphasis on what we what's really matters. And sometimes when you think about the value, like, these products cost about $120 to start with. Like that's the combo, right? This triplex combo is about $120 a month. And then some of you like may add on, and some of you may take back, or like you can make customizable changes. But some people come and say, oh my gosh, it's $120 a month. That is just way too much. I'm going to ask you, how much are the co-pays that you are spending money on for not being healthy and having overall chronic inflammation in your body due to all the sugar? I mean, let's talk about the diabetes. We talked about that a little bit, but chronic inflammation is another thing. We are inflamed because our body is just hit with sugar and inflammatory foods all the time. And if we don't detox this out, if we don't reduce that chronic inflammation that we all have going on, cholesterol is going to go up and everything else is going to go up. And I haven't even scratched the surface about the gut and mind axis, right? There is studies out there that good gut health is related to a better, to the reduction of anxiety and depression, for example. It's just all of it is together. And when you think about it, what does your therapist cost you? What is your fitness clubs going to cost you? What is your health co-pays are going to cost you? Is $120 a month really that much? The way how I pivoted, because in the beginning, I have to tell you, I was really skeptic. I'm like, I'm on a budget. I don't know. I don't know if I should take it or not. But I have to tell you that alone in co-pays, not having to go all the time because I'm hardly sick, because when you take care of your knock on wood, when you take care of your microbiome, your immune system just gets stronger, right? And yes, you don't have to go to the doctor all the time. So therefore you end up having less and less and less bills, right? So the $120 are just kind of like, I just think about it as part of my grocery budget. So I mean, it works for me. You have to make the decision for yourself. It's all up to you as to what it is that you want to do. So I have a friend, Plexus friend here on the Zoom, and I'm wondering, Christina, are you open to share your story? I would love to hear your experience a little bit. There she is.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I can. What do
Yeah.
So let's hear from you for a minute.
I'm on the spot. Yeah, so I discovered Plexus in the middle of 2020 in the pandemic and lockdown, and just started as a way to uh, have more energy, reduce some inflammation, and just to feel better. I just didn't feel good, and part of that was just from being just stuck at home doing nothing but walking to the refrigerator for snacks or being able to take a nap whenever I wanted to in the middle of the day. So that was kind of my motivation. It wasn't necessarily to lose weight or anything like that. Um, I also have some autoimmune issues, and so it was a way for me to make sure that my immunity was strong enough to fight off any potential infections that might come. So I gave it a shot, and I just was there to try the products. I was not interested in building a business at any time at that point. It wasn't until later I started to discover that the sweet tooth that I had for years and years, all of a sudden, I didn't need to reach for the candy bar or the handful of Skittles or the bowl of ice cream every night. I didn't need the extra snacks even at night. Like that's not something that I necessarily need all the time anymore. And then my energy, I'm able to come home from work now after a full day and then still accomplish the basic chores. I'm not one to do a bunch of chores at night, but I can, find the energy to maybe fold and put away that last load of laundry, or I
The big
can.
laundry never stops.
I have enough energy to do one more load of dishes in the dishwasher before I head to bed, which before I would come home and I'd need a 20, 30-minute nap to just recover from my workday before I could have the energy to be present with my family and doing things with my family. So that was an almost, I wouldn't say immediate, but a very obvious change right away that I started to gain that energy. And with that energy and motivation to do the simple chores in my house and to help provide for my family, that turned into, oh, I have a little energy to spare that I could maybe do 20 minutes of a workout on a regular basis, which was not in like my mental wheelhouse at all before that. So that to me was an aha moment as well. Like, oh, I don't need all the sweets. I have enough energy to provide the maintenance of chores as a mom that we all feel and have that burden of. But then on top of that, I can also start to focus on taking care of myself and feeling better about myself. And I actually just read something that today I stumbled upon probably about 6 months after I started Plexus. I stumbled upon a picture from 6 months before that, and I was so shocked to see just some basic like changes in some of the inflammation and such like that I didn't even realize was there before. And then with starting on triplex is what I started with, I was able to see that inflammation decrease along with my energy increase. So
Yeah.
that's a
It,
short
it's
part of my
I mean
testimony.
it's definitely huge. I want to show you real quick here. When you talked about the inflammation, I mean, look at my before and after picture.
Hmm.
Like, look at, like, it's, can you see? Did I share? Is it sharing? Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, it's just like the puffiness, like it, like, yes, I lost some weight, but it's just like the puffiness and just being unhappy, really. Like, just,
Mhm.
I didn't realize that. I was shocked looking at myself
Yeah.
um in
Yeah.
that time.
Hmm. Me too.
It's
Yeah.
just amazing. And then, I mean, I don't know about you, but I just love the support. I love like being able to have other people and other women who like kind of going through the same thing, because especially with gut health, when you think about it, it could be very lonely, that road of I'm gonna put you on, hang on, let me change the view here really good. Okay, like that. It can get really lonely, like when you have no one to talk about with
Hmm.
the fact that you have gut issues,
Yeah.
right? And when you then come out of the sudden, like you get come in contact with plexus and you start realizing like, wow, there's like this, there's like thousands. Like I remember, I have to tell you the first convention I think I went to,
Mhm.
um, because you think nobody takes this, right? Sometimes you think in your brain, no one spends $120 on a system of supplements.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I went to convention, I saw like thousands of people. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, I'm like, all of these people have gut issues, and all of these people are taking the $120 product that I thought no one takes. Like it just opens your mind
Yeah.
to not feel so isolated and not feel so lonely, because sometimes you can, especially with gut issues, you can feel like no one deals with this but you, right? But in fact, there's so many people that deal with it.
Yeah.
Just have to find the right flock of
Yeah.
feathers, apparently.
Yeah. And the support system, of, hey, I'm dealing with this. Who else has experienced that? And what are your recommendations? Just to have that support system is amazing too. Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, so I hope this was helpful to whoever's going to watch this and who has watched this. And if you have any questions, I think this is what I want to leave you all with. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Like it's just a phone call, right? It's a phone call, it's a Zoom, it's like a talk, no one is expecting anybody to buy anything. Like nobody says you must have this. We don't know. Maybe that's not your solution. If it's not your solution, then that's great. And maybe it doesn't have to be the full triplex. Maybe you say, I really cannot afford $120. And then we can say, well, maybe you need to start with one product. Maybe you need to maybe you need to start with the probiotic, or maybe you need to start with the BioCleanse, or, there are combinations that can be made to fit the need of you. And if you really say like, I would love to have that, but I cannot afford it, I know people who can help you make some money with this business as well, and it's very easy, not as hard as you think, and you just need to get the right guidance, and it'll be doable. If like, I mean, let's talk about the business for just 1 second. I know that I have made a good chunk of money every single month, even when I had to take care of my mom in Germany with her cancer journey. Like I like what job, like I will always be sold, right? Because what job would pay me while I'm overseas for 6 months, right? I mean, no side gig will ever pay you that money unless it's network marketing. And I'm just going to say it, it's network marketing. And then that's the last thing I wanted to say about it. That's right, some people say, oh, network marketing, it's a pyramid scheme. Don't do it, right? Okay, let me tell you one thing about the Plexus way of purchasing and buying and all this stuff. You have the option to purchase, just like with Amazon, retail products once, right? Done. You don't have an auto ship, you have nothing. You have one order, just like you order on Amazon. But think about the Amazon orders. You have an option to subscribe, right? You have an option to subscribe because, I mean, we know consumable products you run out of, and you like a busy mom as we all are, we forget to reorder, right? That's where it comes in handy to have this auto ship. So if that's your gig, then VIP membership, which you're going to get a discount, you're going to have all kinds of perks, which is amazing. Those perks, you are able to like earn free products every time you get your product. I mean, you get product just for using product, which I love. I love all my skincare, all of that. I always get with perks. It's great. But anyway, so that's just me, but you make your own decision. And so that's the thing. So you can choose that. You can choose to subscribe. If you ever want to cancel this, there's no penalty. You can move dates, it's very flexible. There is zero risk. And Plexus is so confident in their products that they give you even a 60-day money back guarantee. So, I mean, come on, you order. You get that with Amazon, I guess. You can, not all the products, but you can send it back, right? Same thing. You can, Plexus has the same thing. So even though it is distributed network marketing style, Okay. I had explained earlier to you why that is. It's not because you're going to end up being roped into recruiting and building businesses and doing all the things unless you want to. No, it's just simply because you need a coach. You need one person who can help you take these products the right way. And that's why Plexus has chosen to distribute their products as a network marketing model of being. But the way how you purchase is no different than you purchase from Amazon. So I hope this was clear enough. If anyone has any questions, please reach out. Like, let's just have a conversation. I mean, I'm sure that Christina can agree with me that we only care about having happy customers. And if that is not a solution for you, then we're not going to push this on you. But if you find that could be possibly a solution for you, or you might want to check this out, then let's have a conversation. Okay. All right. I will stop the recording and thank you very much.